How you doing, everyone? This is the Cyber Behiga Sana Cody right here at the Taino Funhouse. I would like to welcome everyone to another segment of Smoke Signal News. And I'm your anchor, Sana Cody, the Cyber Behiga. Man, there's a lot of stuff I want to discuss today. Um, I quit around 5 times filming this video because as I was doing the research for the last 2 days, today really blew up. I do everything in incinerator and I started all over again this evening and I wanted to destroy it. Why? Well, I came to the conclusion that I wanted to bridge a gap between a devastating investigation into the school bombing in Iran and a historical yet controversial nomination for one of our own Native American relatives here in the United States. So let me go to Iran first. Uh, it was an explosive report. Let me go before the report. This is an update. February 28th, there was a bombing in Iran, the Shahire um, Tarabeth, or the Good Tree. Translation, I'm sorry for my horrible pronunciation. But this was a girls' primary school in Manap, Iran. And this was again February 28th, the outbreak of the United States war against Iran. Also with Israel. Now, today, March 6th, a new Al Jazeera digital investigation was just released today, and I was reading through it. And I like Al Jazeera because they're not like your United States media outlets. They get into the news, they get into the evidence, into the data, and their findings does challenge the official narratives that you find all over the news. Now, there are some military officials that claim that the school was part of an active base. Now, Al Jazeera, in their investigation, they went to the satellites. They analyzed the satellites, and they proved that the facility had been physically walled off and administratively separated from the nearby military complex since, check this out, since 2016. So this complex that blew up, this girls' school that blew up, or that was bombed, had nothing to do with military camp. Um, and you can look at the images online, Al Jazeera, and it shows the school walls and playground. Now here's the thing: this investigation it highlights a heartbreaking double take strike. After the first missile hit, parents they rushed to the school to rescue their daughters. Remember, it's an all-girls school. Now, what happened was a second strike then targeted the courtyard, killing many of those parents instantly. Now, Al Jazeera confirms that many of these parents were members of the IRGC Navy. And who are the IRGC Navy? There it is. I'm writing it right there. That's the definition right there. So the report emphasizes that under international law, a school full of children remains a protected civilian object. So the death toll right now stands at 165, mostly girls between the ages of 7 and 12. So here's the thing about this war that sickens me is that there's international laws in every war. In what we call planet Earth, there are international laws that protect civilians. This is a direct violation of those international laws. Now, what's interesting that nearby complexes were not destroyed, but this complex was destroyed by 2 missiles. So let me just look at my data here. Man, so this is what I call the Good Tree investigation. Al Jazeera did a great job. I ask you, I encourage you to look at the photos, the imagery, and all the data that was gathered by Al Jazeera. You're not going to get this on CNN and especially not on Fox. So it's really heartening. It breaks my heart. I like to give prayers to those innocent children and those parents that came and tried their best to save their children. Wow. And like I said, it's a civilian school, and many of the children and parents are part of the Iranian Revolutionary Navy. I wonder if that was a connection to this bombing. I'm wondering out loud. What do you think? Give me your opinions. And hey, we're Americans, United States of America. We have the freedom of speech, freedom of press right now. I can say what I want within sanity. Okay, I'm looking at now another report I want to share with you, and it's called the Mullen nomination. And this is closer to home, especially if you're Native American, indigenous. You recognize that nationality, ethnicity. You recognize our relatives from here in Turtle Island, so South America, Caribbean, Central America, you name it. So today, the President of the United States, they nominated Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullen. Now he is a citizen of the Cherokee Nation, and he's been nominated to serve as the next Secretary of Homeland Security. And remember, Homeland Security, fighting terrorism since 1492. We know a lot about that. So if confirmed, Mullen will be the first Native American to lead the Department of Homeland Security. Imagine that. Now the reaction across Indian country is mixed of pride and also wait and see. So Cherokee Nation, the principal chief Chuck Huskin Jr., he called the move deeply encouraging, noting that having a Cherokee voice in a cabinet is a win for tribal representation. What do you think? Write it in the comments section. Now, Trump in the past has referred to Mullen as a MAGA warrior. But as a warrior in the MAGA nation, for me, it's a very mixed bag. So as Mullen prepares for his as he prepares for his confirmation, he's going to inherit, if he wins, a firestorm of what went on in Minnesota when the ICE agents. Now, there were a lot of tribal citizens that were detained by ICE in Minnesota, and that's been an issue. Now, they've been having members of the Oglala Sioux, Red Lake, and Standing Rock Nation have been swept up in recent operation in Minnesota. President Frank Starr comes out of the Oglala Sioux tribe has condemned the use of Fort Snelling as a detention camp for Native people, calling it a direct treaty violation. That's right. So, so the President Frank Starr comes out. He is the chief, the tribal leader of the Oglala Sioux tribe. I should say the president. And he condemned this Fort Snelling. So right there and again, if he's nominated as Mr. Mullen, it's going to be difficult to approach these issues. Now, tribal advocates, including Kim Stopp, are calling on Mullen to use his native perspective to end what they describe as racial profiling of indigenous people by federal agents. Look at that. We hear this over and over. Now the question remains though, and here's the question I have. Will Mullen be a bridge for native tribal sovereignty, or will he basically be strictly forced or by choice America first enforcer? Hey, American first. How's that working in Iran? Okay, so, I'm going to be following the Senate confirmation hearings very closely. Now, for the Smoke Signal News, as Sanakori, I'm going to keep my eyes on this. It's very disheartening for me to see that President of the United States creating this illegal war in Iran. Just today also the House has supported this war. They're not going against it. Man, you know, war anywhere in the world is disgusting. With all the technology we have, with all the alleged geniuses in the world, leading governments and scientists and so on, we still can't get away from wars. This is absolutely atrocious, horrendous, a disgrace for the human race. So, for many of us, we fear that our children will be eventually drafted into this war in Iran. Iran has not taken this lightly. They're fighting tremendously to defend their homeland. Does that sound familiar? As much as I disagree with a lot of the politics, a lot of the religious fervor in Iran under the leadership of Ayatollah, I do respect sovereignty. I do respect self-determination. I do respect people fighting, organizing, seeking justice against their corrupt government or right-wing leaning government. It's all right as human beings, especially here in America. So I might disagree with the religious doctrines and so on, but I do believe that we have to respect self-determination. We have to respect the people's way of living, governance, and so on. But the Roman Empire still lives on. This whole sense of divide and conquer, implemented by Christopher Columbus, is still alive and well. And the Epstein class, they're still around. They're strong, even though internationally many people have been arrested, many people are being interrogated, questioned. People have lost their jobs here in America and so on. But still, our leadership, where it counts, both in the cabinet level, executive level, you can smell Epstein all over the place. And this Epstein class is stronger than ever, it appears, here in America. And you have a political party called the GOP, which I call Go Pedophiles, supporting leadership of folks who have associated themselves with a criminal, Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I've been looking at these files myself, and I've been disgusted by a lot of the information that I've been looking at regarding young girls as young as 13 and 14 giving reports to the FBI about their rapes and their sexual abuse experiences. And it seems like those investigations just disappeared. It seems like someone in the FBI for many years, they had a magic wand and they just made it disappear. In 2019, it seems like the federal government got involved, and the Epstein Ranch in New Mexico somehow disappeared. That investigation disappeared. Once again, the magic wand. Now, my magic wand, what I'm looking at is I want peace. I want world peace. I want people to eat. And that's the Taino way. We want strong leaders. We want leaders to help feed people. We want leaders to educate the children. We just want to have fun here in the Taino Funhouse. And part of that fun is forget about the wars, forget about the destruction. So this is what I got today. It's a lot of stuff going on. I would like to hear your opinions, pro and con. I won't get offended. I don't take anything personal because we're human beings trying to figure this out. And most of the time, we don't figure it out. And this is why we get into troubles with wars and battles and so on. Hey, when Ponce de Leon, Juan Estevan, when they went on to their invasion campaigns, who did they have with them? They had Taino warriors with them. Now, I don't know if they were forced to fight with them, to accompany them, to scout for them. I don't know if they were forced or they agreed upon, but all I know is there was hundreds of warriors, Taino warriors, that fought on the side of Ponce de Leon, Juan Esquivel, Columbus, you name it. Now, I don't want to judge those ancestors, but it seems like in human history, humans do have a choice. A lot of them march with the oppressor, and many others rebel. So right now in human history in 2026, there's war in the air. There's burning children, just like the late 1400s. Once again, the human race is doomed to repeat the past, but the rebellion continues. Fighting terrorism since 1492. Let's see what holds for us all. Let's pray very hard. Let's pray that the draft will not come, that our children are not killed. And I also pray tremendously that the soldiers, our American warriors, do not follow illegal orders. Maybe there's one soldier out there that's saying, I refuse to do this. Thank you so much for tuning in. You might agree, you might disagree with me. It's all right. I'm just letting it out. I got the talking stick right here. This is my talking stick. Your talking stick is the comments. If you like this show, if you like this segment, please like it, share it, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Hey, I'm trying to use my voice, to give the news that you're not going to hear. You're not going to hear it in mainstream media, unfortunately. A lot of those billionaires are buying it up. They bought up TikTok. They just bought up Substack. Of course, X, formerly known as Twitter. These billionaires are buying it all. They're trying to, the narrative is being shrunk. So it's up to us, the freedom fighters. And let's fight through nonviolence, through our mind, through our heart. And please, let's feed the people. Let's feed the people. Stop the damn bombs.